Question number 5 deals with what? You are to use Biot-Savart's law. You have to use Biot-Savart's law to find what? Magnetic field due to certain finite length of conductor, and the result derived can be extended to infinite conductors also. That means any length. So there is a wire of certain length. You have to find out magnetic field at point P, which is at what distance? Yes, perpendicular distance of point P from the wire is A. The current carried by the wire is how much? I, and the upper end and the lower end, they extend certain angle phi 1 and phi 2 to be written at the end of the derivation. So let this length be L, and this small length is how much? DL. You have to find out magnetic field at P. Let me mark it. This angle is how much? Yes, phi 1. This angle is how much? Phi 2. And from this point, when you draw it like this angle is phi. Notes band kar do. 2 pages. 2 pages are required. Step 1. Apply Biot-Savart's law on this small element only to find magnetic field at point P. This angle is given phi. Let me say this angle is theta. Notes band kar do. When you apply Biot-Savart's law, then you need this distance also. Let this distance is r. Apply Biot-Savart's law. dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi ideal cross r over r cube. Draw the diagram and apply the law. Yes, dB is equal to what? Mu naught 4 pi IDL R, angle between IDL and R sin theta by R cube. So what you get is dB is equal to mu naught 4 pi IDL sin theta by This is r power 1, r power 3, r square. What we want at P is not only magnetic field due to this small element, but magnetic field due to the total wire. Yes, next step should be integration. But before we take up integration, we need to know when you integrate this one, nu naught 4 pi I, it is constant. But these parameters L, yes, if you shift this element downward, L will change or not? Yes, L will change. Theta, if you shift this point downward, theta will also change. If you shift this point downwards, R will also change. So these three parameters L, theta and R, I need to write in form of phi. That is why before I take up the next step, that is step 2, you can say, let me first write that step 2 is integrate. Step 2 is to integrate. Fine, we can write this nu naught I dl, no, not dl, nu naught I by 4 pi. These are constants, but dl sin theta and r square. So before we proceed further, in between the two, you have to find out L, R and theta in terms of phi. Then we will go for integration. Yes, how theta is related with phi? Focus on this triangle. This angle is how much? 90 degree. So theta plus 90 plus phi is equal to 180. So first step, theta plus phi is equal to 90 degree means what? Theta is equal to what? 90 degree minus phi. So you have one relationship. Theta you have written in terms of phi. R and phi. How R is related with phi? How this R is related with phi? R, A is a constant. So you can find a relation between A, R and phi. Yes. A divided by R is, yes, it is base, this is hypotenuse, base by A by R is equal to cos phi, R is equal to what? A by cos phi or A secant phi. Third, एक रह गया, R you have written, theta you have written L, yes, relation between L and A, L by A, yes, L by A, perpendicular by base, tangent phi, L by A is tangent phi, L is equal to A tangent phi, but what we need is here dl. So you can put this value of L here, or you can, if you say L is equal to this, then dl is equal to what? Differentiate. dl is equal to differentiation of right side. A is a constant. Tangent phi, yes. Secant square phi, am I right? D phi. Differentiation of tangent is a secant square theta. Differentiation of tangent is secant square theta. Medical students खास करके. So we are back. Up to this integration both sides. What we want is theta to be written in terms of phi, R to be written in terms of phi, and L to be written in terms of phi. We have written all. Time with you is 3 minutes. Value put करो. 3 minutes. So B is equal to what? Nu naught I by 4 pi, yes, dl is equal to what? A secant square phi d phi. Dl you have written. Sin theta, yes, sin theta is what? Sin 90 minus phi. If you write sin 90 minus phi is cos phi. So sin 90 minus phi cos phi. R square. R was equal to what? A secant phi square. What you get is nu naught I by 4 pi. Yes. A by A square. 1 by A. Secant square phi cancel. Is equal to what? Nu naught I by 4 pi A. Integration of cos phi is what? Yes, sin phi. Integration of cos phi is sin phi. Now, in this case, if you write one of the angle as phi 1 plus the other angle you need to write minus. Why? Anyone? If you define this angle above this to be positive, then angle below the x-axis has to be negative. So one angle is above, that is phi 1, the other angle, this is phi 2. If you mark phi 1 to be plus, phi 2 has to be marked minus, otherwise it is a mistake. So what you get is nu naught I over 4 pi A sine of phi 1 minus sine of minus phi 2. Sine of minus is equal to, yes, sine minus theta is equal to minus sine theta. So minus to minus क्या हो जाएगा plus. ये बन जाएगा sine phi 1 plus sine phi 2. 2 minutes to complete. 2 minutes to complete. Result is what? Yes, result is magnetic field due to wire nu naught I by 4 pi A sine of phi 1 minus and minus plus sine phi 2. This is the result. When now you need not write all this. This is the conclusion. A wire, top end extends angle phi 1, lower end extends angle phi 2, perpendicular distance is A, then magnetic field is nu naught I. I is the current carried by the wire, divided by 4 pi A sine phi 1 plus sine phi 2. special cases. Case 1. Yes. You need not refer to the notes. I will just go through infinite conductor. Infinite conductor. Yes, anyone? Hello? Angle phi 1 will approach what? Yes. If you take this end to infinity, this angle will keep on increasing and phi 1 will approach 90 degree. Phi 2 will also approach 90 degree. So, magnetic field due to infinite conductor is mu naught I by 4 pi a sine of 90 plus sine of 90. Sine 90 is what? 1. This also 1. 1 plus 1 कितना हो गया है? This is 2. 2 divided by 4. Yes. 2 pi a. So, if you have an infinite thin wire extending up to infinity down, then magnetic field at a distance a is what? Nu naught I by 2 pi a. 2 minutes to write. 2 minutes to write case number 1. देख ले. Case number 2, infinite conductor, but at the end of infinite conductor. That means there is a conductor, this end extends to infinity. You have to find out magnetic field at this point. That means there is a conductor, it starts from here, extend to infinity, and you have to find out the magnetic field at distance a. Perpendicular distance is a, and one end is nearest, and the other end is at infinity. Then, if you take this point somewhere here, this angle, yes, phi 1 will reduce to what? Let me say this one. Suppose it is this one. This angle phi 1 will approach what? 0. And the other one, phi 2 will approach 90 degree. Put phi 1 equal to 0, phi 2 is equal to 90. Nu naught I 4 pi a sine of 0 plus sine 90 comes out to what? Nu naught I by, this is what? 0. Sine 90 is what? 1. B is equal to nu naught I by 4 pi a. Half of a previous one. वो कड़ा सीखा? S point तो लेके full infinite. Center to positive, then center to infinity downwards. Both ends extending to infinity. एक नारे होता half of a previous value. Case number 3. case number 3 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ let the length is total length is L, this is L by 2, this is also L by 2. This point is perpendicular distance is A and it is middle. This angle I need to know phi 1, this angle I need to know phi 2. B is equal to what? Sin phi is equal to what? Anyone from the diagram? Perpendicular L by 2 divided by this distance. This distance is equal to what? L by 2 square plus A square and root. So, nu naught I by 4 pi A sin phi 1 and sin phi 2 are same, equal to what? L by 2 divided by L by 2 square plus A square and root. Second is also same, L by 2 square plus A square and root is equal to yes, nu naught I over 4 pi A 2 times L by 2, 2 times this value. So if you say 2 times L by 2, that comes out what? L divided by L by 2 square plus A square and root. Simple. Examiner in competition will give you these values. For example, this value is 3, this value is 4. 3 square plus 4 square and root comes out to be 5. So you can simply find out the value of sin phi 1 and sin phi 2. 2 minutes to complete. Refer to the numerical. Page number is yes 3 by 41. Numerical number 3. A wire loop PQRS P, Q, R, S. Dimensions. Yes, it carries what current? I. Clockwise direction carries current I. Dimensions. A, the other side is B. Find magnetic field induction, that is B, at, yes, center, which is marked as O. Find magnetic field at O. Use this. Hint. Find magnetic field due to this part SP first. Focus only on this part for which the formula is written. Two minutes to try. Step 1. Find magnetic field due to this part only, that is due to SP only. Hint. Perpendicular distance is how much? This total distance is A, perpendicular distance is A by 2. Let this angle is phi. So phi 1 is phi, phi 2 is phi. 2 minutes to write. बोलो field due to SP. Nu naught I by 4 pi A. Distance, perpendicular distance. Here it was A. In this case it is A by 2. Sin phi plus sin phi. Sin phi is equal to what? This distance is how much? B by 2. So I need to write sin phi is equal to what? स्कूल वाला टास्क है, पेशेंस ड्रिवन है. परपेंडिकुलर डिस्टेंस b by 2 डिवाइड बाय हाइपोटेन्यूज. वैल्यू कितनी आएगी यदि? b by 2 स्क्वायर प्लस a by 2 स्क्वायर अंडर रूट कम्स आउट टू व्हाट? b ओवर b स्क्वायर प्लस a स्क्वायर अंडर रूट. ठीक है? सो व्हाट यू गेट इज न्यू नॉट I ओवर 2 पाई a sin phi b ओवर a स्क्वायर प्लस b स्क्वायर अंडर रूट प्लस sin phi b a square plus b square and root. This plus this कितने गुना हो गया 2 times. So अगर 2 times करूँगा 2 ते 2 कैंसिल हो जाएंगे. What you get is pi a b over a square plus b square and root. So due to SP, answer is nu naught I over pi a b over a square plus b square. How many of you are getting the same answer? Patience and effort. ये चाहिए. Now try for PQ. Step 2, try for PQ. Let this angle be alpha. To help you, let this angle be alpha. Sin phi 1 is alpha, sin phi 2 is also, sorry, phi 1 is alpha and phi 2 is also alpha. Try. अगर ये ठीक आ गया तो that means you know how to do it. Step 2. B, PQ, anyone? Follow the same procedure and at the end you put value for sin alpha also. Result is, yes, nu naught I pi, yes, pi b a over a square plus b square and root. Procedure is interchange a and b. Agreed or not? Immediate answer चाहिए है. The first जो भी answer सी interchange a and b. ऐसे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा if you change interchange a and b. A square plus b square is same as that of b square plus a square. Step 3. Question की है चाहिए की है बोलो. Total magnetic field at O. Magnetic field at O is equal to, yes, effect of all. Whatever is the effect of SP, same is the effect of QR. Check whether the two support or oppose. Follow left, पकड़ो left, right hand ऊपर रखो दे. Inwards आ गया. इस तरह डाउन कर लो इन्हों. करंट नीचे है ना. And again check, it is also inwards. Support कर दे दोनों. Current direction is opposite, but in between the two wires है, then it will support. Similarly, these two PQ and QR, PQ inwards, RS inwards, simple. Direction is clockwise, all will support. That is why B naught is equal to 2 times SP plus 2 times PQ. Value put कर दो. Two times SP and 2 times PQ. Nu naught I pi A square B square is common. So first 2 times nu naught I B over pi A square plus B square under root plus 2 times PQ nu naught I by pi B A square plus B square under root. कॉमन बोलो की है 2 nu naught I pi A square B square ब्रैकेट्स क्या आएगा यस फर्स्ट पार्ट इज B by A so when you solve it, it is B into B square, A into A square, A square plus B square divided by AB. Either numerator check. Confirm the answer. Numerical number 9. This was numerical number 2, 3. Try numerical number 9. Draw the diagram. Objective question है. You can answer it in 2 minutes. An electric current of I amperes is flowing in a long conductor CGI shown in the figure. Find the magnitude and direction of the magnetic induction at center O of circular part. Draw the diagram. It is of this type. There is a wire from infinity. Then there is a loop, circular loop, and the current again moves to the right. Radius, yes. Radius is R, current is I. You can find out the magnetic field. 1. Due to circle, Second, due to infinite conductor, right, magnetic field due to circle, magnetic field due to infinite conductor. Write expression for both. You have covered infinite conductor today and circle in the previous lecture. Expression for magnetic field. Magnetic field due to infinite conductor. Then magnetic field due to circle at the center. Third, we will see the effect of the two. Yes. Magnetic field due to infinite conductor. आज दा result बोलो. Nu naught I by 2 pi. A was perpendicular distance. Here the perpendicular distance is R. Circle. Nu naught I by 2R. Then the effect, whether the two are supporting or opposing, that is another question. Whether the two support or oppose. Due to circle. पकड़ो लेफ्ट से. बोलो मैग्नेटिक फील्ड इज आउटवर्ड्स. इथे रख के देख लो. Even then outwards. For this circle anti-clockwise it is outwards. So for circle let me write this is outward, towards the reader. This dot means towards the reader. What about due to infinite conductor? Again पकड़ो लेफ्ट से. Place your thumb parallel to the pen. Again above the wire this will be outwards. So both are towards the reader and are supporting in nature. That is why B total is equal to B due to infinite conductor plus B due to circle, and the value is nu naught I by 2 pi R plus nu naught I by 2R, and it is towards the reader. Check the answer. Common parameter is nu naught I by 2R. You can take this nu naught I by 2R out. First step you get 1 by pi plus 1.